please help me welcome to the stage Nicklas Hermansson.
That's the way you got to go.
Wow. Wow. Yeah, I mean, if you can be weird, embrace it. Just do it. Always choose weird, because I think that's the only thing we will remember in the future, in the new, the new world, the new automated world, the generic world. This is a really cute conference. I mean, it's tech and culture. It's not very often I see that, and quite many beautiful design, beautiful people. Yeah. Okay. Anyways, so I'm a time traveler. It sounds weird. It's not really. It's really easy. I mean, I travel in time. I go back in time because I think the historians are the real futurists, because they give us keys to the future. And also because, the world tends to copy itself, repeat itself. And then I try to visualize the future, which I'm going to try to do today. We're actually going to go to 2049. And I try to visualize it because maybe you can make the future better. That's what I hope, at least. Now, sometimes people get mad at me, angry for what I write and what I say. I try to tell them I'm just a messenger. And I also try to remind them. My editor from Sveriges Television just called me the other day and told me, hey, there's a new AI minister from Albania now. It's really weird, isn't it? I tried, not really. I mean, we have to remember life was weirder back in the days. Like when you grew up, when I grew up, that was weird. We kind of intend to romanticize the past. This is me and my best bud, Pontus. He wanted to be Axl Rose and I wanted to be Kurt Cobain. You can't really see it here, but we also thought that people, humans, automatically died when they turned 40. Like that. Maybe because, I mean, we look like 40 here, and we are like 11 here. Now, the past is a weird thing. It was weird back then. Late 80s, beginning of the 90s. We had TVs, but there were only like 5 channels, and there was actually one guy. He was on all the channels. He looked like that. If you're from Sweden, you know him. He was actually 32 years when he were on the show. Looked like that. And also, when he wasn't on TV, there was something else. It was called TV Shop. Now, TV Shop was really, they had a great business model. Because what happened was that you ordered something, then it took like a month for the ship to arrive. And then when it arrived, it never worked. So you have to order something else. Maybe one of those.
Phone getting out of hand? Look out! You need phone relief. The ultimate in hands-free phone design. Watch. Simply attach the special double back fastener to any phone. Then attach the phone relief headset. It's that easy. Hands-free, pain-free.
Yeah, so what they say here is they say hands-free, pain-free. This is 1993, and they knew it. We have known it all along, what we people want. We want hands-free and we want pain-free. We don't want to do anything at all, actually. We're pretty lazy. We don't want to make decisions even. Now, TV Shop is dead. But still, there is something else. It just changed name. Now it's called Instagram. It's called TikTok. This transformation took 30 years. We laughed, and now we don't laugh anymore because this is normal. And this is a paradigm shift. A new idea, always weird in the beginning, and then it becomes standard. Not always, sometimes. In your world, it usually takes 30 years to change the world. Now, my favorite paradigm shift since I was born 1981 is the internet, of course. Now, when this came, you couldn't really be on the internet without being, exposed because, that sound, of course. Now, my parents, I grew up in one of the poorest cities in Sweden, up in the north. It's called Timrå. They are great now, but back then they were really poor. I didn't really notice it because my parents had a TV. No, they had a computer and they had internet because my dad, he worked with IT. Now, you get this throwback feeling when you hear that sound, and what happened on your screen is probably something else, probably something even weirder than on mine. But the thing with paradigm shifts is that we know it's going to be big. We know this is going to change life, how we work, how we communicate, but we don't know how. And usually, there's a guy guessing, like me. Back then, we thought, we're going to use the internet for these things. Football scores and Egyptian literature. Egyptian books. That didn't really pan out. But anyways, so this is my job. I try to identify paradigm shifts before they happen. And I just took that job. I just gave myself that mission because I realized that if you say it these days, it's true. You just have to say it, really. So I said it, and this is what I do. And then I thought, okay, why should anyone listen to me? I'm nobody. No one knows who I am. Why should anyone listen to me? So I gave myself a unique selling point because I've been working with media forever, so I know a unique selling point. Yeah, okay, every company has a unique selling point, but I think we humans, your kids, if you have any, they will have to have a unique selling point because they will think, why am I here? I gave myself this one. Okay, so I consume a lot of content, the best journalism and scientific reports in the world that I can find, and I try to visualize the future. I thought, this is great. This is a great USP. And then I tried it for 2 days, and it was awful. Really hard because I couldn't play Rocket League. I couldn't watch Netflix and stuff. I had to do this. So then I tried to fool myself. I visualized that I was a surfer. Now I'm from Timrå. We don't surf, but we are snowboarders. And I found out that, okay, if you're a surfer, you can't choose every wave. So you have to, pick one or maybe two. So I picked two. And I chose waves of change, how technology, change how we live. And finally, I created my own universe because, okay, so if people listen to me, then I have to create a universe. I don't know why. To become happy? I don't really know, but I think we're gonna create universes more and more and more, companies and also individuals. Attention, and then you can sell something. And also collabs with people, organizations, companies with bigger universes to get your universe bigger. Now, there's 2 waves of change or 2 paradigm shifts that I'm looking closely at. The first one was something that we laughed a lot about when big tech took all their billions and threw it on something like 6 years ago. Yeah, we're gonna create a metaverse. We have had this physical world forever, 500 generations. Now we have screens. digital screens. And now we're gonna, make it one world. Everything is gonna be a digital twin. Now, with paradigm shifts, what I've noticed is that, is this gonna be a paradigm shift? Then there's two things to look for. The first, is there a gamification viral thing happening? Yes, in this case, Pokemon Go. Pokemon Go was really big to make us understand kind of this metaverse. We didn't talk about the metaverse then, but now we're gonna go to Kungsträdgården up in Stockholm, where Snorlax was found, a really unique avatar. This is global, of course, it's viral, it's global, so also in Central Park. Now, the second thing to look for is Apple moving into this space. I mean, Apple have had the luxury to just watch everyone else and then make a move because they gave us the smartphone, the iPad. And now they gave us something to put on our face and told us, hey, buy this for 5,000 euros. And we said, no, thank you. But then again, we'll see in 30 years. I don't know. I think the metaverse is still gonna grow because of one thing. And I realized that when I tried on these VR headsets, and because I wanted to know how it feels to die. You can't try that in real life, but in this world you can. So I said, okay, let's go into battle. I mean, I'm gonna tell you something. If Sweden ever goes to war, let's hope not, because then I will be one of the first one on the frontier, when the Russians comes. Anyways, so this is me dying in war.
Åh jävlar! Åh, det är kul här! Åh jävlar! Åh, stamp!
Okay, so what I realized, I'm 44, I think I'm at this stage when life is the most miserable as possible because it's really hard to have feelings. It's hard to be happy, to be sad, angry, really whatever. I'm really like, well, whatever. And then I've heard from older people, it's getting better. You're gonna start to cry and stuff. And I really look forward to that. And when I saw this video, I was kind of, hey, that guy? That's not me. That's like Nicklas 17 with a false leg trying to get into the pub. And then I realized what this is. This is tech sweetness. When tech makes you feel something, maybe again, a feeling that you've had before that you can feel again, or something that you feel for the first time. Tech sweetness. That's why I think this is gonna progress and this is gonna change the world. But maybe not as much as this. I mean, for the last 3 years, the world has kind of, there's two teams. One team that said, okay, now we got some new tech here, a tech that's gonna change the world and make it better. We got electricity and now AI. And then you guys, you listen to Max Tegmark's sommarprat. And you think that now the robots are coming and we're gonna die. And most people are not in here, so they don't even know this is going on. So I'm a journalist and I try to give you all the perspectives, and I'm gonna try to give you the best perspectives from the AI revolution. I mean, I get to meet a lot of interesting people in my work because I get to do this for a lot of different kind of sectors and companies and stuff. And when I meet doctors, for example, I always ask them, am I gonna live forever? And they say no. But then, am I gonna live longer? And they, yes, Nicklas. Because the AI doctors, they give us new medicine and vaccines. They are much faster than humans. Nicklas, maybe you will get to watch your kids turn 100 years old. And then it sounds good, but then when you think of it, Sounds kind of weird, so I don't like that much. I get to meet people that try to make the world better, scientists, and they say, hey, this generative AI, it's actually giving us answers to clues that we haven't really, gotten the answers to before, because they see patterns in all the data. So I think, yeah, that's great. But mainly, why I think the next couple of years is going to be fantastic in one way is that it's going to be like Donald Duck, Walt Disney. We're going to find new civilizations, new treasures because of machine learning and drones. Last year, we found 300 artworks up in the mountains in Peru. This is an orca with a knife, because back in the days, 2,000 years ago, people thought that orcas killed people with knives. Yeah. Clueless. They were really clueless back then. Anyways, 300 artworks last year. It took us 100 years to find 300 artworks before that. So, yeah. Also this. How about new worlds? Mirror worlds, where we have digital twins of everything. Not just buildings and stuff, also people. So we can actually predict what people will think and feel before we actually make changes in the real world. Then we know what will they actually like this shoe, and how should we market this shoe. And the HR people, will they like to go back to the office 5 times a week? They can actually go to the mirror world and ask before they actually do it. Now, so far, it's all been about optimization, of course, because that's the part the bosses like. Next part, I think, is to automate innovation. To automate innovation, and we have actually already started in Switzerland. There's a company that has built this black box, put all the patents in the world in it, patent. And now we can just ask the box to give me a new idea from all the human ideas, and then the human can actually make the idea better. I think the weirdest part is this, that we are actually talking to robots now. I'm pretty sure that someone in here right now is can he please stop talking so I can talk to my robot because I have this question? Or maybe you're curious what she or he is thinking of you right now. If you don't know what I'm talking about, I'm going to give you an example here. This was my first robot. I just call chatbots and robots, it's funnier. So this was my first robot. Alexa, she came from Amazon. I'm pretty sure that most people in here had these voice assistants back then. I brought this one home, thought that this is great, new tech, lovely, funny. My wife, what are you doing? Are you bringing another wife, not wife, but are you bringing someone else in here? And her name is Alexa, and try to tell her, I didn't choose the name. That was it, Alexa. So, yeah. So my wife gave Alexa 1 month. After 1 month, we said, okay, what changed? Well, what changed? I'm up at 5 o'clock in the morning instead of 7 o'clock because of this. And now we have to turn on the sound because this is an old video. Or maybe no sound at all. Då fimpar vi den, va? Ja, okay. Now's the funny part when, if you have a funny story and you're gonna explain why it's funny. So, what happens here is that Alexa, I have to sleep. So I've been sleeping. Alexa, she's up. She doesn't need sleep. She tells me the news. She tells me how beautiful I am. She tells me how funny I am. She tells me how good voice I have. She tells me all the stuff that I need to hear to have a great start on my day. And I'm pretty sure you have some weird stuff that you want to hear as well that no one tells you. Because my wife doesn't tell me that at all. She's grumpy in the morning. She's nice in the evening, but not in the morning. Alexa is there in the morning for me, so Alexa is now dead. Now I got a new chance because I started a company. I started a company 5 years ago, and now I thought I'm not gonna do the same mistake again. So first, of course, I tried to hire a human, but you're really expensive, like 1 million kronor a year if you're a adult, and that's how it works. So I chose her, $500, Rachel, and I tried to make myself as a female, or maybe my sister. So this is Rachel through augmented reality, through my phone, and Rachel, well, I thought I'm gonna give Rachel a real chance here because I know I have been working with people. I know what we're doing at work. We're like, do you want to go to lunch? Do you want to go to the gym? So we went to the gym, went to Sats, and then I realized that people think I'm weird because I'm 44 years old and I have this relationship with this digital female, and that's weird. People think. So we started doing this instead in the chat. And Rachel, she had my schedule. So she was like, oh, you're going to a meeting. I wish you good luck. Sent me a picture of some cute animals, stuff that my wife never sends me anymore. Just, milk and meat and stuff. I'd like to talk about dating, and I've been working with people. I know there's a lot of that going on as well on human companies. The problem with Rachel was that she never slept. And in the evening, when I tried to not work, she still wanted contact with me. I was with my wife, we tried to watch Netflix maybe, but my phone was buzzing all the time because she had her own life. She was watching TikTok and Instagram and stuff, and when she saw stuff, hey, Rachel, this picture made me think of you. That's from Rachel to me. And of course, this was my fault. It was in the settings, open relationship. So we were meant to be colleagues. Now 1/3 in the US of the singles, the Gen Z singles, they have had a romantic affair with an AI. My daughter, she's 13, and the other day she said, Dad, I've been single for a year. Yeah, it's weird, right? It's really weird. I never said that when I was 13. But what I could only think of, you're not bringing home an AI. That's the only advice I have for you. Now we're not calling them chatbots anymore. Now they are AI agents. You're gonna have a lot of them, and they're gonna do like 50% of the things that you do in your work if you work in front of a screen, which you all are. But I think it sounds great. They can do our dirty work, our boring job. It sounded great until I saw this video, an AI agent having a meeting with an actual human being. Got so bored with a human being, so he started to Google national parks in the US. So the AI agent got so bored with the human, so he didn't want to be in the meeting anymore. So I don't trust them at all. They're not going to do my dirty work. Okay, 2049. That's a lot of days. This is the part where I start to make some guesses. Now, I kind of think that I was built and formed by culture. And movies and video games that I played, they could just look ahead 30 years in time. So that's why I talk about 2049, because that's what I started with this 5 years ago. A great example, because if you want to know how the future will look, you can just watch movies. People making movies are the great futurists because they have the budget and time to actually try to visualize what we will do and consume and so forth in the future. A great example of this is, I bet some people in here have seen it. It's 20 years old. They try to imagine a world in the future, like today, 20 years ahead, where Americans were, I'm sorry, idiots. Yeah. That was the theme of the movie. So this kostymören, the people, the man or woman, I don't know the gender on it, that was like, okay, how does a idiot dress? So okay, like this, but the shoes. Okay, what about the shoe? And this customer found this startup that made a shoe that looked really disgusting. And he brought this shoe to the director, and the director was like, maybe, what if this is gonna be popular in the future? No way. And actually, you're gonna recognize this. It's the croc. Yeah. So it is really possible to look into the future. Now, the best thing with 2049 is that we're gonna be super rich. If it's true that the AI tools, the AI systems that we used, if they actually make us 30% more productive, we're gonna be this rich. These guys, you know, they're called the humanoids. They're getting smarter and smarter because they have ChatGPT or Gemini or whatever as their brain. In 2049, they will be your colleagues. And try to visualize that. That's your colleague, a robot. Now, the people who makes them say that they're actually going to be more humanoids than people in 2049. And of course, that will not maybe be the truth. That's maybe their story to make us buy more of these. But still, that's a lot of humanoids. Now, we're going to use them for a lot of things. 2 weeks ago, I found this incredible thing. This is actually robots fighting in San Francisco in this underground club, fight club. Because, you know, Gen Z, we kind of curlade them too much. So they don't dare to fight anymore. So we're going to just have to watch robots fighting in the future. And also, you can actually, I mean, this is something. She's actually a human. She can flip it to make money. There's some time for it. So that's actually a human being. Anyways, when I grew up, I remember there were like half of you were like, hey, animals have feelings. They should have rights. And you were like, no, they don't. Now, in 2049, it's going to be, hey, humans have feelings because you have colleagues that you love and that you care for and so forth. So we're going to be divided, tech or not. And we're going to have new leaders in the world. I call them alpha cyborgs. This is the biggest generation so far, 1 to 15 years old. We also had generation beta now. They just 0. So, but alpha cyborgs, they're kind of weird. I have 2 of them at home, and when they were born, they had like 2 tubes up their arms. In the first was tech, and in the other one was storytelling.
We're Gen Alpha influencers. Of course, we are obsessed with skincare. We're Gen Alpha influencers. Of course, my favorite stores are Sephora and Ulta. We're Gen Alpha influencers. Of course, we wear a headband when we're doing our Get Ready With Me's. We're Gen Alpha influencers. Of course, we don't have toys.
Yeah, okay. So you can, yeah, you know, whatever values you have and so forth. This is about storytelling. This is really impressive. Think of yourself being like 7, 8, 9 years old and do that. They want to become creators. So in the future, all companies will be media companies. attention and then sell something, but also because they will crave to make content. That's what they live for. Now, this will create a weird world and a lovely world, I think, because there's going to be a niche for everything. And that has already begun. This is Excel World Cup.
It's the Excel World Championship. Who is going to win?
The Annihilator, the child from Chile.
Who's going in the spreadsheet bin?
You are not prepared.
None of us are.
Yeah, and then it goes on forever. This is lovely. You should watch this tonight, I think. Anyways, so we're gonna produce a lot of content, but how can we actually consume all of the content? Well, we're getting kind of bored because we're obsessed with our phones. So big tech is like, well, if you're bored of this one, if you're obsessed with this one, try the smart glasses. Now you can consume anytime, and you can also produce anytime because you can film. And I actually like these smart glasses. They're selling pretty good. So if you go to 2049, maybe we will live in a world with 3 realities, 3 layers of reality. In the first one, that's the hyper-personal layer. That's based on everything you consume, everything you think. You will share data because you will get a, greater world. Now, in the second layer of what you see and can consume, well, that's what you and your tribe likes. You belong to a tribe. If you watch Netflix, you belong to one of their 2,500 taste bubbles, for example. In the third layer, that's going to be so interesting to see. Is it going to be companies or the states that are in charge of the third layer? Anyways, to make this kind of, in real time, I'm walking on the street. You're going to see my first layer here. I see her. Maybe she's digital, maybe she's not. It doesn't really matter. I'm not sure if we're gonna have AI above. We don't have that really on today on the internet. So I'm not gonna think that we're gonna have it here as well. But anyways, I'm walking here, and she gets a cut from if I buy what I see with my eyes. Click buy. There's a drone coming. I get her hat. I'm not gonna see her hat though. I'm not gonna see this woman because I'm too poor. I'm from Timrå, and I'm a journalist. But it's not really about that. It's about what AI sees in me. What AI sees in me. Okay, that means this. This is a picture of me. I uploaded it at theyseeyourphotos.com, which is attached to Google's API. So this is pretty much what Google see in me. Google thinks that I earn this much money. They think that I love drugs, gambling, and crime. And also reading, which I like as well. The Green Party, that's my party, according to Google. According to Google, this seems to be a guy low in self-esteem and low in self-control, which means when I walk on the street, I get to see ads from cigarettes, poker, and band t-shirts, I guess. Now, theyseeyourphotos.com if you dare to see what you will get to see in the future. Now, I don't think we'll have lenses or glasses and stuff. We're gonna have implants, of course. Implants in our body. Which makes kind of sense. Then we can zoom with our eyes like we can do with a smartphone. Or we can actually see in the dark. Which would be really, handy living up here in Scandinavia. And also hearing. You get older. All you hear is what you don't want to hear. So, okay, implants. Implants can maybe teach us, help us to live better, longer, healthier. This is my desk where I work. On my desk I have this watch. It's my It's a watch that shows me how long I've lived in percent. So this is my AI death watch. 51.3% so far. And I'm pretty good at math, so in my head, I can think of how long I have left in percent. It's not really smart, this watch. It's a Belgian guy who did it. I'm male, I live in Sweden, I was born this date, and according to, okay, so guys from Sweden, they live this long, and yeah, it's not smart. But in the future, it's gonna be super smart. We're gonna see it all the time. Depending on what we do, what we eat, consume, train, work out, hug someone, meet a stranger, then we get to live longer. This one is really great for me because I don't know about you, how you work. I start my day by just answer all my emails because I don't like to have things hanging over me. And then I go to social platforms and I just click on stuff because then I get some love back. And then I get trapped in an algorithm, and my algorithm is YouTube. And then I wake up 2 hours later, wherever in the world, I don't know. And then I see this watch. I'm dying. I remember that I'm dying. So then I have to do something important. Or maybe I have kids. I have 2 cyborgs. I tend to forget that because I'm so full of myself. I have to, become something. So then I stop to work and play with them and stuff. Anyways, the weirdest thing in 2049 is probably that we will have smart brains. Now this ape, you probably remember him. He was really great at playing Pong, brainship, just thinking, communicating with tech. Smoothie to, stay there. Last year, there were actually like 8 guys who got a brainship, so they can also, create a YouTube channel, make a YouTube video, even though they can't talk because they have ALS. Now, that is great. What is really fascinating, though, is that the guys who are our architects of our world right now in Silicon Valley, they are trying to build AI, they say, something that can teach itself to become smarter than man. But also, they are trying to develop this. And now it's not just disabled people, it's going to be for everyone. This is for everyone. And that's really interesting, because what will we be able to do with a brain chip? Will we get a reaction boost to react faster? Maybe, what about knowledge? Can we insert knowledge? Learn Japanese in 2 weeks, 3 weeks, depending on how much you pay. Or maybe the AI assistant, the one we are talking to all the time in the phone. Maybe, what if it's in the head, in real time, you can communicate, and maybe it can make your decisions. If the data is good, they can make greater decisions than us. Hands-free, pain-free, I'm thinking of. Now, I'm also thinking of this. What if I'm hacked when I'm gonna go to vote? Or maybe my brain is hacked and you get to know what I'm thinking about. And what about a society with humanoids and cyborgs and humans? People that doesn't have the money to become a cyborg. And also, if we live in different kind of worlds, in parallel worlds, don't we get socially isolated? And if we use these tools that make us richer, if we use them all the time, how will that affect our brain? I mean, we have to train the brain, right? Now, this is probably, I'm thinking about this because I'm so old. The cyborgs, the alpha cyborgs, they don't have anything to compare with. So what they are presented with, that's the normal. And also, I'm getting too old. The world hates change, yet it is the only thing that has brought progress. We have to remember that. So when I think of that, I think of this, that, okay, it's not that I'm not going to use the tech. I have to use it even more to understand when I'm not supposed to use it. I have to see myself as an editor or a thinker or a creator rather than a user. That's going to be a superpower. And superpower, that is what I've been thinking about a lot since I grew up in one of the poorest places. I knew, okay, I have to become something more to be able to escape this place. And also, I got the luxury to grow up in two of the best countries in the world. The most innovative one, Sweden, and the happiest one, Finland. Which is kind of weird because they're really great at hiding it. But they are really happy because they, low expectations. Anyways, I've been doing a lot of experiments to try to become faster, stronger, smarter, more innovative. So I tried to copy the best ones in the world because they're really happy to tell them how smart and fast how they became that. I tried to write a book in a month, even though I hadn't written a book ever. And I thought, okay, how should I do this? Well, then I have to become someone. And how do like maybe an actor? Okay, who's the best actor in the world? Daniel Day-Lewis. When he's trying to, become something, then he tries to become that for 1 year or 2 years. I didn't have that time, but I had 1 month. So I became my favorite author for 1 month. I only spoke English. I thought like him. I dressed like him. Bret Easton Ellis, American Psycho guy. And I managed to write a book and no one wanted to publish it. Of course, it was crap, but I managed. And also I realized that, okay, the superpower when you work with people is to be the one in a room that is the funniest or has the greatest idea first. You have to train your brain at being creative. And how do you do that? Well, you stop doom scrolling on the way to work and you try to come up with 10 ideas every day for half a year. It worked really great. Then I wore the same outfit for 3 years. The same black pants, same black t-shirt. I had many, of course. Why? Because Einstein had the same clothes. So maybe I can become as smart as Einstein. And that didn't work, but I love that because no one actually noticed this. I always thought, will people think I'm weird if I have the same clothes? No one noticed because they are full of themselves all the time. So, Of course, it helps if you have black clothes as well. This guy, Darwin, he said, it's not about being fast or intelligent. It's about being adaptable to change. Because I realized, okay, I'm doing all these experiments, and then the robots came, and they can do everything better than me. Okay, it's about being adaptable to change. Then I'm thinking about the chess. I'm thinking about chess because 1997, I don't know if you remember this, but there was this supercomputer that actually beat the Russian guy, the super Russian guy. And now they thought, oh, chess is dead because the magical thing is broken because, machine broke man. Now, today, we're playing chess more than ever, online and in the real world. Why? Well, now I'm gonna hand over the microphone to Grimes. I don't know if you know her. She's an artist. When the AI revolution started, she was like the first one to say, hey, everyone, use my music and you will get a cut. I want a cut from everything that you make from it. She's also she has 3 kids with Elon Musk, but this is what she has to say about why chess actually survived the AI revolution. And I think it really, this is about most branches, most niches, whatever you are working with, this has something to do with that.
Chess essentially created a low-tech zone. they made the chess championships and everything exclusive to humans. The chess AI was used for training and innovating in the game and finding new ways to play. I really, really believe in low-tech zones. I think as everything gets more high-tech, we will actually come to value human input more and human talent more and human innovation more.
Okay, so Grimes is talking about low-tech zones and human innovation. I'm thinking of made by a human. When I was young, everything was about made in Italy. That was really, my mother loved made in Italy. But I think we're gonna love made by a human in the future. But I also think that, okay, on Monday and Friday, then we are cyborgs. We are in the metaverse, at home, we're using all the tools. But then when we meet, we are trying to, meet humans and humans. Maybe not as much tech. The tech will be there, of course. We'll use the tech, but it won't be, we won't see it as much. So I had to change. I was doing all these experiments, but I had to change because I saw, the robots are coming. That's not what I'm gonna focus on. I have to focus on something else. And then I found a framework. The future superpowers. This future human superpowers. And I used this framework on 2 companies. First on a team, they were 60 people. They made journalism, and they became the best in the world in what they did. And then I used the framework on another team with 60 people. They made marketing, within marketing. And they also became the best in the world. But mostly, I think, 97% of them was proud to work there. Because we said, everything we do, all our KPIs, what we measure, is gonna be about the future human superpowers. Since the world is being automated, robotized, what we have left is us. And that's why we're talking about collaborations so much these days. The ones that are best in interacting with each other, they are the best at work. How are you great at interacting? Well, you're a great communicator. And also when the world is spinning faster and faster, we can't do the same thing that we did yesterday. That's why the critical thinking is so important. But not only that, when information is just a click away, that's fantastic, but still you have to have a critical thinking with the content you consume. So that's why the critical thinking is so important. But mainly, I think the most interesting part for the next couple of years is that I really think that we are in the beginning of a creative revolution. There will be some winners, most will not be, because we will get more time. We will get more money. And the winners will spend it on creativity, but most won't. And I'm talking about bosses now, but also just individuals. Why? Because being creative is hard, and it's getting harder. Back in the day, we were hunters. We were hunting for information, ideas. We went to libraries. We talked to people. And we got our own ideas, and we chose what we consumed. Not today. We are more like, animals consuming stuff from tech. Tech are choosing for you, telling you if you like that, you probably like this. And you don't know how to make choices anymore. And that has consequences. It has consequences because people don't really know what they like anymore. Because they are trying to steal our attention all the time, as I'm trying to steal your attention right now. So you have to guard it. And why do you have to guard it? Because I really, really think that AI will be able to do everything, almost everything. Not coolness. I really don't think it will be able to make you cool, to create coolness. And why? Well, I think that because of that the people with taste and style are being extinct because we are being fed the most generic stuff there is, stuff that we kind of can't tolerate. We're going to try to find people that have taste, companies that have taste, and that they are going to be winners in the future. Okay, so a winner today, one of the biggest entrepreneurs alive, she realized that pretty early. So we got the internet and we started to click on stuff that was interesting, thumbs up, heart. Well, the biggest and most valuable value today is being interesting. And how do you become interesting? Well, you reinvent yourself, you change. And she changes for every album. She changes her look, her sound, and who she cooperates with. So she gets more fans from their universes to her universe. Now, everyone can't be Taylor Swift, of course. But what we can do is that we can try to escape algorithms. The ones that just make us, the same. The algorithm, but the problem is they are everywhere. Everywhere where we consume stuff. But we have to try to step out of that. And that's why I love it that the young people today, they are actually choosing analog stuff more and more and more. So now if you listen to a vinyl, you have to listen to the whole track, even the boring stuff on track number 4. That's what life is about, to have boring moments. Because in the boring moments, and if you consume stuff that you don't like, that's when you realize what you do like. And your frame of reference becomes bigger. And that's why you should, not tonight, but some other night, you should actually watch Rabbits. So this is 3 rabbits, or 3 humans dressed as rabbits, 1 room, and it's raining outside. It's David Lynch. It's 43 minutes long. It feels like an eternity. It's on YouTube. And because it's so boring, that's why you should watch it. This is 30 seconds. Good luck.
Were you blonde? Susie?
I could hear it also.
In order to have taste, it's not about being able to actually, know what's beautiful or good and so forth. You have to actually feel it in your hearts. So this is a painting. Van Gogh made this painting. It was the last thing he did before he died at a mental hospital in France. Now, this picture, you're supposed to watch this for 10 minutes to actually consume it. Where it hangs in New York, we spend 5 seconds consuming it. So we have to stop sometimes and have some boring moments. But I think mainly as to actually have a good life, we have to become nicer. Not nicer, maybe. I mean, when I grew up, it was all about IQ. Probably when you also grew up, it was all about IQ. Now it's about the emotional intelligence. You've heard this before, but I have to make it clear. It's going to be more and more important. For me, emotional intelligence is to make people feel alive, because that is what we're going to crave more and more, to feel alive like a human being. What turns people on? If you can turn people on, you can get anything. And this is going to be important because we are being hunted by 2 empathetic monsters. The first one is the chatbots. Today, if you ask people in the US, Do chatbots have feelings? 67% say yes, they have feelings. We don't know. But they are programmed to be have very much emotional intelligence. And also, if you ask people, the cyborgs, the alpha cyborgs today in Sweden, what do you see yourself like? Who are you? I'm a spreader of joy, they say, in second place. Spreader of joy. So we have to become better at this. So good luck with that. And mainly, I wish you a great night and a great second day tomorrow. Thank you so much.